The Bible says, if your conscience condemns you, there is one greater than your conscience. That's pretty cool, right? So if your morality condemns you, there is one greater than your morality. If your convictions condemn you, there is one greater than your convictions. In my case, if your vision condemns you, there's one greater than your vision. See, that's the problem. That was my problem. Having been deceived and convinced that my vision was of myself and not given to me by God, I clung to the vision and went to war with God. And that's a problem with any that's a problem with any sort of positive thinking, any sort of schema that that is high in principle, that's high in you know st- standards, values. That's the problem with it, is that it'll condemn you because it's not necessary. Oh, look at my glasses. Huh, that's new. I got like this dancing thing in my eyes. Huh. Oh, that's odd. Anyway, so anything like that, like it's downstream from God. That's it. That's downstream from God. So you set up this scheme that comes from the earthly realm. You will defeat yourself. It's not positive, even though it may give you positive outcomes, in the sense that, okay, well, you get money, you get power, you get prestige, you get whatever it is that you're looking, you get sex, you get women, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. It may Those things will condemn you. Those things will actually increase your capacity for death. And that's what I did. That's what I did with my vision. My vision condemned me. And I didn't see it. And what that created in me was a false narrative, a false conflict. But believing that conflict, I set about, one, devaluing God, smearing God, slandering God's character, and overlooking female character. So I elevated women, and I cast God down, so that when I would be so then okay, so let's just deal with recent events. So recent events, uh, my career was destroyed. I mean, wiped out, because I stood up for righteousness' sake in 2020. I refused to get along. I refused the absurd narrative that was being perpetrated in all of the earth, uh, and it cost me everything. And then, and then, the Lord rewarded me with my heart's desire. Gave me a beloved, and was amazing. But my vision then, the very vision that was given to me by God began to thwart the relationship and work against me, so that whenever my beloved would act in a way that would counter the vision that was given to me, I would react badly, because I couldn't. I was so focused on the vision that I couldn't allow her wiggle room to struggle with her actual boots on the ground human nature, and to make matters worse, she had, of course, like all of us have, she had problematic personality disorders, or whatever you want to call it, so that she would act savagely towards me and test me in ways that, had I not been cleaved to the vision but cleaved to God, I would have behaved in an entirely different way. So she would deliberately put me into situations through vicious interrogation, and I took the bait. In the beginning, I took the bait. Right? I would defend myself. Actually, I was defending the vision. I would defend the vision, thinking that was the righteous thing to do. And of course, then I would defend myself. I would have angry outbursts. I would argue with her. I would reason with her. I would enter into the narrative that she was actually spinning and trying to work out unconsciously, probably consciously in some ways, but she was spinning this narrative and trying to sucker me into it, so that then she could justify her vision, which was not such a great vision of love and men. And midway through, after about a year and a half, I started, the vision was failing. And so I had a little bit more space to look at the situation and to begin to assess. And as I did that, I was slowly being able to withdraw myself from reacting, from being baited, and start to withdraw from that dynamic. And as I did that, as I withdrew the negative energy that I was adding by defending myself and arguing and, triumphing because I'm a male, so I can out dominate a woman that's trying to dominate me. But as I learned what was going on, what she was bringing to the table, listening to what she was bringing to the table, what she was struggling with, and withdraw and observe, and to assess the pattern in the room, of course, that my withdrawal would make her escalate even more. And then about a year ago, the war in the Middle East broke out, and she used that as a justification to begin to unravel the relationship entirely. And at that point, I withdrew even more. I ceased to be available for her in sharing in sharing certain controversial, conspiratorial rabbit holes, and I just thought I would outweight her. I would just, and she could go through whatever it is that she had to go through. But I wasn't about to join in the fray any longer. And at that point, that's when she began to cheat on me for about a year, I think, probably. That's when it started. Until the relationship dissolved completely. She continued on with that behavior until she acted out. So what I learned from that, and then after that, on the heels of that, about a month after her leaving, I was deep in prayer and meditation. The Lord brought brought another woman into my life, which was really incredible. There's no doubt in my mind that it was the Lord that did it. The Lord brought this woman into my life as consolation at first, as consolation for the what I had endured and lost, but it quickly, very, very quickly, within very short period of time, days, it it became apparent to me that this new love interest was not only an answer to my prayers, but it put my former lover into perspective, and I was able to quickly assess myself, and my heart just naturally went after this new love interest. Just my heart, my mind, my soul, everything. I just naturally. It was a miracle, really, because typically, like it would take me years to get over something like that, but it didn't. It just, because this woman, her virtue, the way she was, the way that we were so compatible, just naturally, I just naturally went. It was like I was made for her. So, and during that time, during this struggle, uh, I was assessing this idea that my giftedness was at war with God. So that was the disturbance was there. Excuse me. So that when my new love interest began to exhibit her signs of her emotional and psychological underpinnings, and the what she was, the her history, what she was dragging along into the relationship, and how that made her unavailable to the relationship, to developing the relationship. She quickly began to indicate signs that what my vision saw between us, what her vision saw between us was a very, very different animal. And so when she began to manifest signs that would indicate I was barking up the wrong tree, the crisis it mirrored the crisis that I had just come out of. Only this time, I was free of the vision. Even though I was manifesting the vision, I was also free of it, because I had at last understood that this was from God. And because I understood that it was from God, I just gave up the vision. It wasn't the vision that I was after. yes, the vision I was after, but it was God. It was God's vision and not mine. And so I just gave it back to God. And because I was able to free myself from the thing that condemned me, I could see clearly what was going on. And in doing that, I was able to. So even though there were like up to and recently like unbelievable signs that her and I are meant to be together, like I can't even explain it to you. It's just but unbelievable. No doubt about it. Holy crap, God, this is God talking. So on the one hand, I have this vision and then these divine assertions or assurances that yes, this is exact your vision that you are projecting onto this love interest is good and true and right. So that's going on. Then this other thing, because I'm not attached to it, this other thing that's going on is like, wait a minute, according to biblical, my understanding of the Bible, the manner in which she is the vision that she's offering to exist between the two of us, I could see clearly, no, that's not that. No, that's not. There's no way that works for me, because it will devalue me, dismiss me, and discredit me, and she will leave. She will take advantage of us and our love and what we're sharing, and then she will discard it. She'll move on. So she was projecting onto us what she had learned, what she had accumulated in her ideas and understandings of the love relationship, of romance. She was projecting that onto us and suggesting that that's what was between us. And so even though I had these two opposing things that were going on the one hand, I embraced what God was telling me about the two of us and very grateful for it. On the other hand, at the same time, I was able to assess what she was projecting onto it and reject it, because it was so contrary to what I believed was between us. And whoever sets the bar the lowest in a relationship, they're the ones that control the relationship. They're the ones that determine how the relationship will flow. So like so it takes two people to dance, right? But it only takes one person to fuck the dance up. So whoever sets the bar the lowest in a relationship, they're the ones that control the relationship. They control the dynamic in it, the pace, what's shared, what can't be shared, etc. So I learned very quickly, just by understanding that if your vision condemns you, there's one higher than your vision. If your vision blinds you, there's one greater than your blindness, right? Etc. And because of that, praise God, I was not, unlike the last relationship, I could see that I remained self-possessed. I didn't enter into argumentation. I calmly and assertively, in a timely manner, asserted my basic needs, asserted my basic position. I was able to assert and reiterate what it is that I saw that was between us, and was disappointed, of course, that she wasn't in a position to receive it per se and negotiate with me, but it didn't cause me to react badly. It didn't stop me from loving her, speaking to her calmly, addressing her in the manner in which people deserve to be addressed. So what it showed me was that I had overcome division, and downstream from that, overcome my reactions, myself, my need to defend, my need to argue my point, my need to assert and force her in any way into accepting what it was that I saw between us. And that's good. That's progress. I've progressed.